Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you're doing well. We come back with chapter 2, equations, inequalities, and the problem solving. We're still using the same book, Intermediate Algebra by Ellen Martin Gay, 8th editions. In this video, we're going to go over section 2. Remember, in section one, we went over linear equations in one variable. So in this section, we're going to introduce you to problem solving. So the objective for us very quick is to write and simplify algebraic expressions, apply the steps for problem solving. So let's go very quick on a short examples because the objective here is really to write and simplify expressions. If they said twice a number plus 3 is mean equal, okay? Twice a number. Anytime you don't know a number, you can replace it by a variable. Twice means 2 times a number plus 3 is the same as the number. That number you said, what is that number? X minus 6. So we can write that one. And of course, that's an example. So we need to, first of all, to translate into a mathematical models, then solve. Now, how are you going to solve this if you remember what we did in the previous section? Because it's a linear equations in one variable. If it's in a linear equations in one variable, we need to isolate the variable x on one side and the constant term on the other side. We combine like terms. So the only way you can isolate is subtract x on the right, sorry, but you must do the same on the left. Now, when we add them, we have 2x minus 1x give us only x. We keep the 3. X minus x is gone, so we have negative 6. Now, we're not done because on one side you must only have x. That's why we said solve for x. X equal, not x plus 3 equal. So to get rid of the 3, we also need to subtract 3 from both sides. When you subtract 3 from both sides, we have the x left. Plus 3 minus 3 is 0. We don't need to write 0. Negative 6, negative 3, same sign. We add and keep the sign. So x equal negative 3. Usually, when you solve any equations, you need to state the answer. How do you state the answer? You said solutions equal negative 9. So that's how you state the answer. Remember in the previous example video for this chapter, we went over 3 types of equations. You have conditional, you have contradiction, and you have identity equations. Now, apply the steps for solving problem. Okay, first of all, you really need to read the problems multiple times in order to understand it. You need to understand the problem. You need to read it multiple times. You need to identify the facts, what is given, and what you need to look for. Propose a solution and check. Construct a drawing. Choose a variable to represent the unknown. Now, once you identify what you don't know and what is given, you can translate the problem into an equations. Now, you solve the equations, you interpret the answer, you verify it first, then you state the conclusions. Let's say, for example, if they ask you to solve these equations, they said, the product of twice a number. Remember, product means multiplication. First of all, you really need to read to understand product means multiplication. Twice means 2. A number means that's something you don't know. When you don't know something, you will replace it by x. Now, remember, a product of, because they said a product of 2 times a number, that means Remember, if you take the 2 times a number, because they said it's a product, we need to multiply with whatever they give you. And what is given is 3. The product of 2 times a number and 3, that means this one is 3, is, look at that. Is mean once again, is means equal. So remember, this is equal, right? Equal is the same as the difference. What difference stand for? Remember what difference stand for? Yes, subtraction. Is the difference of 5 times the number, because the number we don't know it, is 5 times that number. And remember, we said difference, that means subtract. And what's that? 3/4. Now they said find that number. We must find a number. This is find that number. What is that number? So you just don't need to solve. So what we see here, the first thing we try to do, we read the problem. And we let x be the number we don't know. And twice that number is translated into 2x. The product of twice a number and 3 we translate into 2x times 3. Is means equal. 5 times the number we translate that into 5 times x. And remember, you said the difference of 5 times the number and 3/4. So 3/4, you can subtract it. Now that's why we translate the product of twice a number and 3. 2x times 3 is the same. We use an equal sign. The difference, the subtraction will be in the middle. 5 times that number, we translate it to 5x minus 3/4. Now, the next step is really to solve to find that number. So how are we going to solve it? First of all, 2x times 3 gives you 6x equal 5x minus 3/4. We could look for the common denominator here. That means the common denominator, the least common denominator for both sides would be 4. But I don't need to do it first. I can just try to get all the x's on one side. So what I can do here is to subtract 5x from both sides first. Now 6x minus 5x give me only x. 5x minus 5x is gone. We have 3/4. Now, there's nothing else we're going to do because we only have x on one side and a constant on the other side. So our equation is solved, is conditionals. So we can state the answer as negative 3/4. You can plug the negative 3/4 in the original equations to make sure the answer is correct. So we can state our answer as the number we're looking for is negative 3/4. That's a pretty simple example, but we have some other examples we can look at, like a car rental agency advised renting a book Century for $24, $24.90 per day. Per day. So we have 24.95 per day. So if you want to do it for 10 days, you need to multiply for 10 days. But right now, they said per day for 1 day. And you pay $0.29 per mile. So for 1 mile, $0.29. 29 cents. If you do 100 miles, you need to multiply by 100. Now let's see. We have these two information. I would say, if you rent this car for 2 days, okay, number of days, 2. Okay. Now, suppose you don't drive at all. You don't put any miles on these vehicles. Taking the vehicles for 2 days, how much money you gonna pay? Yes, please tell me. How much money you gonna pay? So what you need to do, because 1 day is 24.95. If you do it for 2 days, it's gonna be 49.90. So you can say that you're going to do 24.95 times 2 for the 2 days, right? Now, plus the number of miles because you know the number of days. They don't say X days, they said the number of days. Now, if you put miles on it, if for 1 miles you put 29 cents, I mean, if you drive X miles, because we don't know yet, we're gonna just use X to represent X, the number of miles. So we really can use X as the number of miles driven. Right. So if you know the number of miles driven and you know 20.29x is the cost for mileage driven. So now this said, how many whole miles, whole mean no decimal. How many whole miles can you drive on a $100 budget? So to make, you cannot, whatever you do must equal to 100, but it can be less, of course, but cannot exceed your budget. If you have $100 to spend, you can spend $10, $20, 50, 60, 70, 75, 90, 9.99, but you or 100, but you cannot do 100.05 because you have only $100. Now, order of operation want us to do multiplication. First, 2 times that number we said is 49.90 plus 0.29x equal 100. Now we can isolate our x by subtracting 49.90 from both sides. So it gave us 0.29x equal what? Yes, 50.9 for 10. Now, we only have x, but our problem here, we do have a coefficient in front of the x. What do you think we should do here? Because that's the first time we have to deal with a problem like this. What do you think we should do? Yes, we need to divide both sides by 0.29. When you have a coefficient in front of your x, what you need to do is divide. So, this one would be gone. So what we have left is only x on the left, and 50.10 divided by 0.29, that's going to give us a big number. It's 172.75. All right. Now, maybe because they said it's a whole number, we cannot state the answer as 172.75. We can either say 173 or 172. But we're gonna try, because we are closer to 173 than 172. We're going to go back in the original equations and plug that number and see what it looks like. If we go in the original equations right there, where we have 0.95 times 2 plus 0.29, 24, so 24 point, so 0.29 times 172.75, we're gonna see if it's equal to 100. Now, when we do that, we remember this side gives us 49.90. What is 0.29 times 172.75? I believe that number gave us, no, sorry, that's not what I'm supposed to do, because I'm trying to show the whole number to take. If we take the whole number 173, we want to see if it's equal 100. So 0.29, let me do it with my calculator, 0.29 times 173, that gives you 50.70. Would that equal to 100? We said if you add 49.90 to it, it gives you 100.07. You have 7 cents. It's not equal to 100. At this point, if you do 173 miles, you're going to exceed your budget. So it's better you take only the maximum number of whole numbers should be 172 because that's the one that would fit your budget. So the maximum number of the maximum number of whole, that's a W, okay? Let's suppose this is a W. Whole number miles is 172. Okay, so that's the maximum we're gonna go. We're gonna go with that. We don't need that continue. All right. I put it because I thought I was going to have another one. Okay, that's a beautiful example. Okay. How about we do another example? They said the measures of a second angle of a triangle. So, oh my God, triangle has three sides and three angles, right? Suppose this is a triangle we have. I'm gonna just redo it. Okay. They said we have a triangle. The measures of the second angle, angle one, angle two, and angle three. So we could say side one, side two, side three. So the measures of the second angle is twice the measure of the smallest angle. I consider, let's say, if x, the smallest angle, you know what? I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna set smallest angle, second angle. We have a third angle. The measure of the third angle. Huh? I'm gonna set x, no, smallest angle. If we call the smallest angle x, the measure of the second angle, they said the measure of the second angle of a triangle is twice. They said it's twice the measure of the smallest angle. So we're gonna say it's 2x. And the measures of the third angle, what is the measure of the third angle? The measure of the third angle is 3 times the measure of the smallest angle. 3 times x. Find the measures of the angles. Now, what you need to remember in a triangle, recall that the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is equal to 180. So if you said, remember that, you must remember that measures, okay, the sum of the measures, okay, of the angles, okay, of a triangle is 180. You need to remember that, okay? So now the sum. That means if we add all our angles together, smallest angle plus the second angle plus the third angle, answer must be 180. So all you need to do now is solve. You can solve. If you measure of the first angle plus the measure of the second angle plus the measure of the third angle equal to 180. So 1x plus 2x plus 3x give you 6x equal 180. Remember, coefficient of x, then you need to divide by the coefficient. Do it both sides. And now, it gives you only x. 180 divided by 6 give you only 30, if I'm not mistaken. So meaning, smallest angle is 30 degrees, and second angle is 2 times 30 degrees would give you 60 degrees, And third angles would be 3 times 30, would give you 90 degrees, sorry, 90 degrees. So you can verify that because the first angle is 30, the second one is 60, the third one is 90. If you want to verify, please do so because you can do 30 plus 60 plus 90. It must be equal to 180 degrees. So verify. Okay, so you can check that the smallest angle is 30 degrees, the second angle is 60, and the third one is 90 degrees. I think it's good to do a last examples in this session because we're gonna come back with those beautiful exercises where we ask you the sum of three consecutive even integers. If we said consecutive numbers, remember, consecutive numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4. That means you can call it x, x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, etc. See, if we said consecutive even integers, but they said integers. We can say numbers or even numbers or natural numbers. Even integers. I'm gonna put only the positive ones, okay? So we said even. What is the first even number? Yes, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. So it's like you do, if the first one is x that you don't know, the second one would be what? Yes, x plus 2. Each times you add 2 to it to find the even number. So you see, you keep adding 2 and consecutive odd numbers. You can also do consecutive odd numbers. It's the same. What's the first odd number? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. But you still, if the first one is x, then you know you add 2 each time, right? So it's the same like consecutive even numbers. Now, you just said the sum of 3 consecutive. So even, first even integers. Even integers. If I call it x, second even integer, right? Because it's even, is by 2, x plus 2. Third even integer, because they are consecutive, then one after the other. So it's x plus 2 plus 2, that make it x plus 4. Because they said it's the sum. Sum means we need to add them. So x plus 2 plus x plus 4, okay, is mean equal. Remember that, is mean equal to 52. Now, if we add 1x plus 1x plus 1x give us 3x, 2 plus 4 is 6, equal to 52. We need to isolate the x, that means subtract 6 from both sides. We have 3x equal what? 3x, yeah, so 246. Now we need to divide both sides by 3 to make sure we have only x on the other side. So x would be what? Yay, 82. Now we know our first number, this number right here. Oops. This number right here would be 82, 82 plus 2, 84, 84 plus 2, 86. So we find the integers are, so the integers are 82, 84, 86. If you want to try that, you can always say do 82 plus 84 plus 86, I bet it's gonna give you 252. So hope you understand this, because we're gonna come back for more, definitely, especially in chapter 3, where we're going to solve formulas, right? And do some extra problem solving. Hopefully that's helped you to do the homework and also prepare for the test. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.